Hello everyone, I'm back with another review slash analysis in this review Advent Calendar 2021. This time around, I am analyzing Gyroaxia's Hibanachiru. This is a suggestion by Suzume, and let's check how the band has fared with Hibanachiru, song that many people were suggesting. So that's pretty interesting. I want to know why so many people are pretty excited about this song. Riveting. That's a really groovy guitar melody to start off. The bass line is strangely in a tone I was not expecting. It's much more melodic than usual. Gyroaxia are known for having a really robust sound, and the bass line usually is really deep and aggressive. This time around, it's more melodic. There's a groove going on in this song that I like. The song has, I wouldn't say necessarily a danceable vibe, but it sounds so good. Let's go. A good long note right there from Jin Ogasawara, really going for that explosive, raspy high note. The drums are really the instrument that stands out for me the most in this song. Those are riveting, those are almost like a marching band, someone is marching their way through something. Those are intense and have an intent, which is curious. I'm not knowledgeable about the story that is going on in the Argonavis from Bang Dream franchise, so I can't really tell you why or how it would connect to anything that is going on there. But I do like the way that this song is straightforward. It is strong. It has an intent of moving forward. The vocals are really tricky to pull off. Ogasawara is singing really fast and in little bursts, and there's little time for him to take a breather, so that's a bit tricky for him to pull off, and he's actually doing so really well. I like the way he's tackling that part at the same time that he's adding a little bit of flair in those notes. He's adding a bit of a melody on top of it. It's really the core of the song. It really is about that journey that's going on in there, and it has that instrumental is necessarily funky and really goes outside of the box for Gyroaxia, that are not known for performing funky music or even groovy music. Their sound is usually a straightforward, aggressive punk rock sound or fast paced rock sound with some bits of hard rock in there. But this time around, they went for a more melodic approach for this song. It is working pretty well. It has a danceable twist, which is unexpected from Gyroaxia, and the performance holds up pretty well with the instrumental. Once again, the drums are off the charts. I'm loving the drums in this song. Let's go with the drums. Oh! Overdriven guitars. But there's even more effects going on those guitars, but mainly overdriven guitars with a bit of reverb. Add a bit of melancholy to the song. Oh, that work on the ride for the drums is really, really good. Pick up the pace. Ooh. Ooh. That was really satisfying to hear, that last note really being pulled from the guitar. Oh, that's good. Really, really good. Okay, I was not expecting the delicate piano going on in the background. It's a nice twist. After all, we are reading ourselves to the last chorus and possibly to the outro, if the song has an outro. And the piano is a good addition to basically serve as a contrast to the rest of the instrumental that up until now has been pretty bassy so far. And there's that delicate, almost gentle and naive melody coming from the piano to serve as a contrast. The way he pulls that Hibana Chiro. Well, Hibana comes with a lot of emotion, and it's a good way to convey the emotions going on in the lyrics. There's a passion there for music, there's a passion there for what the protagonist does, and he doesn't want to let go of that passion for anything. It is almost as if it is written in the stars for them. So that's really good to see that those emotions that were being let go during the song come up to this part in which Hibana, the word Hibana, goes really loud and raw. It is almost as if the protagonist of the story is pouring his heart out and not leaving any reservations in there. Yeah, that's a rock solid song. I wouldn't say the best song I've heard from Gyroaxia. I do love when the band is more aggressive. Once again, I'm not following the story within the Argonavis from Bang Dream franchise, so I do not even know the names of the characters to begin with. So what I've been following is the music, and the music has been top tier so far. And Gyroaxia is actually one of my favorite bands within the project, the other one being Phantom Iris. And I do love more the sound that they have usually, that is the punk rockish sound, a bit more aggressive than this one. Although I can understand why some people, or many people actually, love Hibanachiru, because the song is pretty emotional, and I can feel this song tying up with something in the story of the protagonist of these lyrics, quite possibly the vocalist himself. So there's a story going on in there, there's a lot of passion for what he does, and it shows in the way the song is being performed, and in a way the instrumental works as a way to set the stage for something greater, something bigger. It's no surprise for me that this song is actually popular. I can understand the ties with the story, although I've heard before better songs from Gyroaxia, so there's that. I'm more of a fan of their aggressive sound, more so than this type of groovier sound, almost, I wouldn't say ska, but there are some glimpses of ska in there. It works with them, but the performance for me sounds too linear. It has some good parts, of course, but sounds a bit too linear for my taste. Still enjoyable, really groovy. If you're into good rock music that has a danceable twist, they sure provide that. This song is really, really good. It's a good introduction to Gyroaxia, although if someone is coming across Gyroaxia starting from this song, the rest of their repertoire will come as a shock, because they are much more aggressive than these, although they are not really aggressive. But it sounds more aggressive or edgier in contrast to this song. So it was really a new type of song to find in their repertoire. After reviewing One, their first full length album, and easily one of my favorite albums in 2021, this song sounds a bit lackluster to me, but that's basically personal preference here, because I still enjoyed this song, and if I was reviewing it, it would get a good ranking, but still not really up there with the rest of the songs in One. Once again, this is a song really focused on storytelling. You can hear that in the vocals, you can hear that in the lyrics, so if you are paying attention to those, or if you can understand those. The instrumental goes bonkers on the drums, and I would love to see this song being performed live, because I want to see how crazy it is on the drums. There are some interesting piano accents in there, I was not expecting those. And the guitars have a really interesting moment there, but they are far from being the main focus. The drums are really intense, I was not expecting that, and taking the spotlight, another thing I was not expecting. Especially coming from Gyroaxia, that have really nice bass lines and explosive guitar riffs. This time around things were a bit toned down to be funkier, or a bit more danceable in a ska fashion, more so than usual. So that's a big difference in there that you will find for sure. All in all, Hibanachiru is a good song. It's a song I was not expecting to hear. I was expecting to review this song, so this time around I worked in the opposite direction. I usually listen to the songs first and review those, and then, in case I haven't reviewed the songs, of course, I listen to those, review them, write about them, and then I do a review on camera. This time around I did the opposite, to see how I would actually, how this song would connect with me. I wouldn't say much, but then again I'm not following the story, so I can't say much about that. But still, I got to understand something that is going on in the franchise, and I didn't need to do much effort to notice that. it was a good song, and I hope you guys do give it a listen when you have time. And this was my analysis slash reaction to Jarawaxia's Hibanachiro. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next entry. Thank you.